About 2.5 years ago, I made a slightly foolish and extremely impulsive financial decision. I bought a Rolex. Now, although this Rolex only costed me about $11,000 or so, the opportunity cost that came with purchasing this Rolex keeps me up at night sometimes. So let's rewind back to the year 2022, specifically the end of 2022. At this time, I had just started a new role over at JP Morgan, and the market was in quite a bit of a downturn. With the funds from this new job, I thought, hey, this is a perfect time for me to get in the market. So I proceeded to buy a number of leap options on some of the Mag 7 names. The names I bought some of these stock options on included Amazon, Meta, NVDA, and CrowdStrike. We were seeing prices in some of these names that we have not seen for a very long time. And I decided that this is the perfect time for me to buy into some very high quality names and see what happens. When I had initially bought these stock options, my plan with this was to hold these until expiration. For those that do not know, stock options, in this case calls, are essentially a bet that you make in the market stating that a specific stock is going to go up to a certain price by a set date. Specifically in this case, I was buying leaps, which are longer dated versions of these contracts, typically a year plus out. Now let's start with Meta, because this is particularly one of the most painful ones. For Meta, I had purchased the $220 call expiring on January 17th, 2025. Now this one I actually did particularly well in, and although if you consider what it went to, it's not too well. But essentially, I bought one call option for $850, which I later sold for around $6,500 in order to help me purchase this watch. Now, if I would have stuck to my original plan and held this option until expiration, you'll see from this chart that it actually expired at around $39,000. Next, I proceeded to buy a variety of Amazon leaps, varying in expiration and strike price. Amazon actually took a while for this trade to work out, which is why some of these I actually sold for a loss, when in reality, they increased in value about 10x if I would have just held them to expiration. As you can see here, I had about 3 different options on Amazon, all of which worked very much in my favor if I would have held to expiration. Now, of course, I still did make money on these trades, but it is the sheer fact that if I would have just stuck to the original plan, held these until expiration, and not impulsively bought a Rolex watch, I would be in a much better financial place. The last of these is CrowdStrike, which I bought a call leap for about $860 and sold it for around $3,000. Again, like all the other ones, this one ended up running to about $17,000 at expiration, so another huge loss there. And just for fun, this one actually occurred after I bought my Rolex, so it's not the Rolex's fault, it's more my fault. But I had extreme conviction in NVIDIA. At the time, this was pre-NVIDIA split. NVIDIA was trading at around $550, and I had a feeling that NVIDIA was about to take over the stock market. I had bought a NVIDIA $700 call expiring January 17th, 2025 for about $5,500, which, as you can see, is slightly above my usual position sizing for all the other options. Due to the fact that this position sizing was a lot bigger than my other previous ones, which were typically around $1,000 to $2,000, I actually sold this one for a loss. This option actually ended up running to about $67,000 at expiration. So, sold for a loss, and it hurts. Now, the point of this video is, of course, hindsight is 2020, and you are never, ever going to get perfect sell on any of your trades. The point of this video, however, is to showcase the opportunity cost that can come from making irresponsible financial choices, maybe splurging a little, buying something like this. It's good to treat yourself every once in a while. However, when it comes to investing, you really want to have that time in the market. That is what is going to overall give you the greatest return. And although I am not going to lose money on this watch, hopefully I could sell it for a profit even. It still kills me that if I would have just delayed gratification for a few more years, then I could have bought this and had a nice sum of money with it. Now, this being one of my first official videos on this channel, I thought it'd be important to highlight one of my biggest losses, one of my biggest mistakes, to showcase that we're all human, we're all going to make mistakes, and this was an extremely important learning moment for me. Don't do what I did. Make sure you guys are investing for the long term. If you buy something and you have a plan with it, make sure you stick to that plan. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe for more content. I'm hopefully going to actually create a YouTube specific portfolio where we're going to do a lot of these similar trades, and I'm going to highlight the results over time, and we're going to see how it performs. So if that's something you're interested in, or if you're interested in any other financial videos, make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button, comment what you guys think down below. I'd love to hear. And this has been Dia, and I'll see you guys later.